Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. It's Chuck here, and we have a list of 24 properties. And just before we get to that, I just wanted to say thank you to the people who came to the buyer class. We had some great questions. I think people really walked away with a lot of value, as always. But I think sometimes the classes, when there's, I've heard it said before, when there's great questions, then you get great answers. And I think that was the case this weekend. So anyhow, let's get to the list. The first one up is 620 Ferguson, number 4. It's at $299 and it's an end unit, so you're going to see some extra windows on the side. 2-car parking because it actually is on Ferguson, and that second bottom part is big enough to fit another car. Now, main floor, you can kind of do a little office here, a little exercise room. It's a handy little room if you can use it. And there is an eat-in area here, which is pretty rare for these models. And then you can see the stairs with the window up there, and there's a photo of that as well. The bathroom is just off the laundry room is just off the bathroom on the second floor, and then the third level has the bedrooms. And then you've got a full bathroom. Very clever to have those 2 sinks as well. I think that was a builder standard, but good idea to have that on the second floor. Good price. You know, these have started to drift up into the 290s. There's a $46 fee per month, so that translates to about $10,000 in purchase price. So $46 a month is the carrying cost for $10,000 on a mortgage. So if you think about it, if you were comparing a similar property that didn't have that little maintenance fee, like a Mattamy home, then you could actually buy the Mattamy home, let's say for $310 if this one was at $300, and it would carry for about the same price, if that made sense. So 100 Millside's the next one up. 702 is the unit number. It's at $3,099. 2-bedroom, 2-washroom. Maintenance fees are $571, but they include just about everything. Some hardwood floors here. Good idea to upgrade or to open the blinds when you're showing the house or having pictures done. And there's pretty much all good views from this building. There's not a lot around it that really interferes with your enjoyment. Obviously, facing onto Mill Pond is certainly a good thing. And the kitchen cabinets have been done. And we've got newer appliances, so good stuff. The floors, everything else, I think 309 is the right price for this one here. Good size unit, and there's 2 full bathrooms. So Burroughs Gate is a Bolton model, 1275 square feet, built by Mattamy, and it's at $349,900. And so we've got a 3-bedroom, and we've got, now it says 3 washrooms. Normally this model has 2 washrooms above ground, and then they've also finished the basement, so there's a 3rd one down there. But on the second floor where people sleep is you've only got the 1 full bathroom. Okay, so living dining is in the back, and then it opens up to the kitchen with a breakfast bar, and you can see the eat-in there, and that's your 1 bathroom upstairs. That's your other bathroom that they built in the basement, and then they've just got kind of a simple design there, which is fine. $349, these guys are going to fly. Anything under $350 right now is getting like a lot of activity, like in a lot of times competition. So it's one of those things that you got to jump on them fast. And so having an agent that's really on top of things is going to really help you out in your home search. So Gowling Terrace is at $364,900, and so it's a Coleman model, and it's like 1,380 square feet. I don't know if they've replaced this with wood. I mean, it's weird to see that coloration and see the rest of it painted. Anyhow, this is the model that I used to live in, not this particular home, but this model, and I really like it. There's a family room here. The photos, let's be honest, are not impressive at all, but I mean, the house itself is a good floor plan. And upstairs, the master's big. It's got 2 full bathrooms upstairs. It's a semi-detached. And then you also have a bit of work done in the backyard too. Now, the pond is right behind here. So if you look at where it is, it's on Gowling Terrace. So you're a little close to Derry. You'll hear the road. You do have pretty good, your walking distance to Portobello's or Hawthorne Cafe. There's some good things close by. It used to be you could go rent a movie before Blockbuster imploded, but that's where it is. So there's the pond. It has a little fountain that comes up sometimes, and good. And you're close to Trudeau Park. This is going to be an area, I think when they build the new schools, it's going to start to feed into that school right at Derry and 4th line there. So That 364.9 I think is sort of in line with where I'd expect it to be. Laurier is 368.9. It's a link home. It's linked by the garage. So usually what that means is that your inside, your bedrooms, your living areas do not connect with the other house. It's simply the garage that's connected. 34 by 123-foot lot. Nice photos on this one. And so you've got 2 powder rooms and only 1 full bathroom with a shower, and that's probably up on the second level. Okay, renovated kitchen here, which I think is going to push them. That's going to make a big difference. So these guys are probably doing pretty well. May 1st is the closing date that they would prefer. Cartmer Way is at 369. There's no pictures yet for this one, but I'll show you a little bit about where it is. And so Cartmer Way, it's right here. And then it's one of the homes on the south side, and so there's a sloping backyard. So you'll notice it says 130-foot deep yard, which is excellent. That's old Milton size, as you saw with the previous one. But it backs onto train tracks. So you do get that sound buffered a little bit by the slope land. It's called a berm, but you do have the tracks there. Some people who live close to train tracks say, hey, after 2 weeks, you don't even notice it. And I can partly speak from experience that I grew up in Etobicoke, and you could hear the planes going over, but rarely ever did you even notice it. It kind of blended into the background. But I just think if the train tracks are 100 feet away from your house, I mean, do you really ever not notice it? Hard to say. So anyhow, the home itself has a lot of square footage. It's about 1,800 square feet. There's a walkout from upstairs. Usually these ones have like a nice high 9-foot ceiling on the main floor, so they're really good floor plans, and I think you're getting a lot of space for the money, and and you're close to everything too. You can walk to the library, all those things we talk about at that Main and Thompson corner. Waters is at 369.9. It's a semi-detached. And the floors look good. I mean, I find the kitchen looks a little small from this photo angle, but sometimes what we find is that they do stretch and flip, and we can find that sometimes the dimensions aren't perfect. Even here it looks very small, so the whole house is showing up as being a little bit narrow. The finished basement is certainly going to help them, and I have a feeling they're going to do pretty well regardless. I think it's a pretty active price range, and having that finished basement is really going to help. So Stark Circle is at 419.9. And so it's a townland. It's almost 1,900 square feet. And so you've got a bit of work done on landscaping in the backyard. That's a great shot right there. You've got your front living dining room. Then you get into the family kitchen. Not my favorite kitchen layout. I tend to like the one that U-shapes, a little bit better. But, you know, it's still... I think the value's there for sure. One of the pictures that I would love to see in that group of 9 photos would be the finished basement, because I almost missed that when I was reviewing these before I shot the video. And so having an extra finished basement has a huge effect on the value. And I think that if it wasn't there, the price would be a little bit high. I think that there's a potential opportunity here to get a good home, lots of square footage, and if the basement's good, 419 seems like the right price. So Dolby Crescent 529. It's a Newgate model, and I think they're right in their description. It's just under 2,500 square feet, but where I think they're right is they say it feels bigger, because it really does. It's a big open concept layout. You've got a nice high ceiling in the front living room. Then you've got your dining. That's the area outside the master that a lot of people use as a home office. And so then there's the family room, some built-ins, and then you also have your kitchen, and that island is movable as well. Okay, so good stuff here. Actually, one of the things that I just noticed here, that's a kick plate, which is an awesome little thing. So if you're sweeping the floor in the kitchen, that's connected to the central vacuum system, so you just kick it with your toe, and it sucks up all the little dust bunnies that you just got when you're sweeping. So cool stuff. There's your master. Neat thing about this model is that your 4 bedrooms, sometimes with homes, the master's huge, the other 3 aren't that big. This one has all teenage-sized rooms. It's a nice floor plan. If you like this one, I mean, it really gels with you. Now, privacy-wise, it looks like there's just a chain link fence, which, depending on the quality of the neighbors, I guess that's a good or a bad thing. 529 seems very fair. I think there was one that sold on a busier street about a month and a half ago for close to this price. The one on Lancaster with the finished basement's been hanging around at I think 535, so that could be some competition for these guys. Bessie Trail's 535, 999, kind of a strange price, but home itself is so there's a laneway in the back that connects the garage. So the garage access is through the back of the home. So you're noticing there's no garage in the front. So it's almost like that. I think about if you've ever been to Celebration, Florida, those sort of old 1920s, 1930s models. I thought it was a great concept when the builder came out with it. And as far as I know, this is the only place that you can find these kind of homes. So what happens is when your garage is out of the space of the home, you're not trying to L-shape around it. So you can find a very square, very functional floor plan. And you've got California shutters, nice floors on this one. Your master, your other rooms here. Now, what you have, so here's your courtyards. The one thing you miss out on a home like this is that there's not really much of a backyard. And these guys have actually done it like a little courtyard, little basketball court. And so what happens is that's your garage. You can see the little things from the garage. There's a nanny suite on top of here. So when you see 5 bedrooms, there's 4 over like in the house part, and then there's a nanny suite on top with a little ensuite. I think that's incredible. So for a home office, for an older relative that just wants to do one flight of stairs and sort of integrate with the family, I think there's a lot of uses for this home. Like I said, the only drawback would be not much of a backyard, but it has a lot of pluses from a size perspective. McLaughlin 585.9, and so we're talking about 2,500 square feet. Costco built this one. Beautiful upgrades, great looking floors, big spacious rooms, and you're backing onto green space. So I think all that together, if it comes the right way, I mean, even the stucco on the outside, they're probably going to do okay. It's a nice 101-foot piece of land. So I like that one. Leech Landing 609. I think the complaint on this one is probably that it's a little bit, it doesn't have the same sort of flow that a lot of the other models have. I just find that it's a little bit more segmented. Beautiful upgrades though. California shutters, and we're talking about less than 3,000 square feet on this one. I don't know what that red section up there, I'm not sure what that's about, but anyways, there's it's starting to thin out a bit in that price range. I mean, we're starting to see some things that are a little higher, a little bit lower, so they might do okay just from being positioned well. Sales Court 639, 5-star listing actually, so it's 24 square feet. And this is kind of similar to the one on Bessie Trail in the sense it's got a, like you could use it as a nanny suite up here, as a big loft, and then you've got the garages over here. So the home itself has a really terrific layout, and it overlooks green space, and then there's an unobstructed view of the escarpment. It's absolutely beautiful. So California shutters, hardwood floors here. There's a little parlor just off the main entrance. Granite counters, you've got the upgraded hood fan, you've got a little tumbled marble backsplash here. 32 windows in this home, so a lot of light, very bright. I think the layout is terrific for entertaining guests. So that's your eat-in just off the kitchen. There's your laundry that leads into the garage like a mudroom. And then you've got your stairs which lead up to this loft area. And just over to the left is actually a bathroom, but nice high ceilings. I think about somebody who likes to do yoga or exercise or has a home office. All of those things could be accommodated with this space here, and it's away from the bedroom, so you're not worrying about it. You could even split the room up into 2 parts if you needed to. And then you've got your master with a pretty impressive ensuite as well. That's the view you see literally from the bedroom. So you've got empty space, you've got a bit of a pond here, and then you get this gorgeous view of the escarpment. So wonderful stuff here. The drawback, if anything, there's probably just not as much backyard as you can find with some other homes. But the backyard's private. There's no neighbors looking onto you, so it may not be as big, but it's fantastic. In the sales court, there's a lot of kids on the street. It's a bike-friendly street. A lot of good things going for it. Very unique model. We probably see this model come out once or twice a year at the most. Okay, so the next one is Boughton Crescent. It's at 649.9. It's a Sutton Hills model, 2,900 square feet. And so we've got a stone and stucco exterior, California shutters, Crown moldings, you've got hardwood floors, and the phone's ringing, just mind that. We have a gas fireplace, granite counters, so all the sort of nice usual upgrades. I don't know if being under 3,000 square feet and being up at 650 is really going to help them out without any kind of lot premium or anything like that. So it might take them a little bit of time. Boughton's a really good street though. Gooch is 669, and we're talking about I think this home's about 2,800 square feet. Again, nicely upgraded. We've got some good looking homes in today's list, and for the most part, actually really good pictures. We're seeing some good marketing done in 2012, which is nice. You do back onto the pond, and I think that's the big win on this one here too. Again, size. It doesn't seem like the deal of the century, but it does look like it has some nice features. Now, Stern Place, you're really buying on size, 3,300 square feet, plus a finished basement. So you have 5 bedrooms on this one, plus 3 downstairs. So you have 8 different rooms that kids could be in, and there's not a big market for that kind of like that volume of bedrooms. So they could win on that. They could win on somebody who has 5 kids and needs that much space. Not tremendously upgraded inside, although there are some. Again, more California shutters. We're seeing the pot lights, the moldings, even up in the master. It's an impressive looking ensuite, and then there you go. There's a shot of the basement. So they could do well. I could see this one appealing to the right audience. Savaline is at $699. Now there's the same model. The Vanderwood model is for sale at $620, $625, $640. So at $699, they don't have a finished basement. What they're really banking on is the upgrades in the home, of which there are many. There's some wonderful upgrades here, and you see that in the kitchen right away. I mean, this is a very custom, very wonderful kitchen here. August 2012 is the possession, so they're certainly looking for a longer closing. I really going to see this one as the ultimate judge, because it's one of those things that, I mean, they said 200,000 in upgrades. That just doesn't translate well no matter how you do it onto 9 photos. Megan Way, it's a Wellington model, and it looks like it's 5 bedrooms plus a finished basement, and it backs onto a park. So wait for the photos on this one. About 3 years ago, I sold the same model for a record price, and it had very similar features to this one, except it had a walkout. But even the position backing onto to Megan Park and stuff like that, these guys are. I'm excited for this. I'm waiting for the photos. I think that could be a good opportunity, and it's on a good 50 by 100 foot piece of land. Cusick is also right in the same shooting range. It's around the same size, about 3,500 square feet. A little bit of upgrading in the kitchen. Not the most, like the photos don't really capture the essence of this home very well. It does also back onto some green space. You can see that there. But the darkness, I just don't find it really opens the home up the way that I think it could if you were in person. 734.9. Hard to say. I think there probably needs to be a bit more upgrading in the home to be shooting up there. So town line is at 829. You're looking at about 4 acres. Great, unique floor plan. I love the angles. Some of these shots are terrific. Master with a fireplace. You've got great views off of your ensuite. Yeah, things like that. I mean, just really impressive. The exposed brick looks good, and it looks like a very inviting home. A lot of the next few homes, it's really about going to see them. Once you get out in the country, you get some land. There's all kinds of factors that really make up the value. This one looks pretty good too on Southcott. Exposed brick, exposed beams. Nice, really, really nice. $935 is the price on that one. We've got one on Purdy for $1.25, and we're looking at probably just over an acre on this one. 6 bedrooms, 4,200 square feet, and what can you say? It's right in the Churchill Estates. Triple car garage. I mean, they could do well too. The thing about those homes, they're starting to get up in like close to 15 years. Some of them a little bit before that, a little bit after that. But you start having to replace things because the roof, the windows, the air conditioning, the furnace, Some of those places need 50, 60,000 just in upkeep, so you really have to pay attention to the age of things, the quality of what was put in, and then just kind of see what you need to spend in the next, let's say, 5 years. We've got one on Main Street here. It's 1.5 million. It's 2.44 acres, and it's basically building land. I think there is an opportunity here for sure to put like subdivision homes, but the average viewer of Milton Daily Homes is probably not really paying that much attention to this stuff. 1.75 million on Campbellville, and we're talking about 105 acres with all kinds of horse stalls and farming, crops. There's special ways to value this kind of thing. So if you're looking for a horse farm on this kind of land with a bigger budget, it's more of a customized thing. Again, not everybody's probably looking for something like this. So anyhow, reach out if you have questions, and we'll see you tomorrow with more Milton Daily Homes. And sorry for the long video. That's what happens sometimes. It seems like off the weekend. Have a great day.